Today, we're going to talk about one of the most persistent and, honestly, unnerving figures in all of Southern African folklore. This is a creature that has haunted dreams and even shaped how people live for generations. We're diving into the story of the Tokoloshe. So let's just start with a really interesting puzzle. If you go to certain homes in Southern Africa, you might see something kind of strange. A bed that's lifted way up off the floor, propped up on a stack of bricks. And you just have to ask, why?
I can tell you right now, it's definitely not for comfort. That does not look comfortable. And no, it's not some kind of interior design trend. The actual reason is, well, it's much more chilling. It's a defense, a really simple, practical piece of protection against something that people genuinely fear might pay them a visit in the middle of the night. And this is what they're protecting themselves from. It's called the Tokoloshe. It's a name that carries a ton of weight, especially in Zulu mythology. It's known as a spirit that can be, just mischievous, but it can also be incredibly malicious and dangerous. So what exactly is this creature? Come on, let's pull back the curtain and unmask this spirit that has caused so much fear for so long. When you hear people describe the Tokoloshe, the stories are pretty consistent. It's a small, hairy, almost goblin-like creature. And the one detail that always gets me? The unsettling, glowing eyes that you might just catch a glimpse of in the dark. But really, its appearance isn't even the scariest part. It's how unpredictable it is. It can swing from just causing a little trouble to bringing absolute terror. But here it is. This is the part that is truly terrifying. This isn't just some random monster out there wandering around in the night. No. The deepest fear about the Tokoloshe is that it doesn't act on its own. It's almost always sent. The belief is that someone with serious bad intentions, someone looking for revenge or just consumed by jealousy, can actually go to a powerful healer or a witch and pay them to summon a Tokoloshe and send it after you. It basically becomes a supernatural weapon in a very, very human fight. So that leads to the obvious next question, right? What happens when this creature is actually sent to your home? What does a visit from a Tokoloshe even feel like? People who believe they've been visited, oh man, the experiences they describe are just awful. They really blur that line between a nightmare and what's real. Things like a crushing weight on your chest while you sleep, hearing tiny footsteps in a totally empty room, or seeing a shadow flicker just at the edge of your vision. And the attacks, they really vary. Sometimes it's just mischief, things disappearing, weird noises in the house, that kind of thing. But other times it's pure malice. The Tokoloshe gets blamed for sudden illnesses, for unending nightmares, for families suddenly having terrible financial luck. Just the sense of dread that completely takes over a home. So, if you believe this tiny monster can be sent to come and get you while you're most vulnerable, while you're asleep, what can you possibly do? Well, this takes us right back to where we started and the simple, almost genius logic behind raising the beds. The thinking here is incredibly straightforward. Fact 1. The creature is famously short. Fact 2. It attacks people in their beds. So solution? You raise the bed on bricks. Suddenly, you're just out of its reach. The idea is that the Tokoloshe simply can't climb that high. It's a perfect practical solution born from folklore. And what's so fascinating to me is that this is not some ancient, forgotten practice we're reading about in a history book. In some communities, this belief is very, very much alive today. Seeing a bed on bricks is like seeing a piece of living folklore, a real testament to how powerful and lasting this story is. But that makes you think, doesn't it? Beyond all the scary stories and the clever defenses, what is the Tokoloshe really about? What does it all symbolize? Because as is the case with so many monsters, this creature represents something so much bigger than just a thing that goes bump in the night. It taps into some really deep-seated cultural fears. When you really get down to it, the Tokoloshe is a physical form of all those invisible human poisons. It represents the fear of your neighbor's jealousy, the very real threat of someone seeking revenge, and the anxiety around all these hidden forces, both spiritual and human, that can hurt you without you ever seeing them coming. So in the end, the legend of the Tokoloshe is really a powerful cautionary tale. It's a reminder that the biggest threats in our lives aren't always the ones we can see, Real harm can come from the shadows, and sometimes it's sent by people we'd never expect.
So if you ever find yourself in a home and you see a bed raised strangely high off the floor, just remember what it really means. It means that for someone in that house, the fear is absolutely real. They believe the Tokoloshe still walks in the night.